Today, we're going to dive into a game system that's trying to completely reinvent the character sheet. It's called the Multiverse Dice Master, or MDM, and its decision engine is designed to turn your character's stats into this super intuitive toolkit for you, the player, and, believe it or not, a logical language for an AI.
You know the feeling, right? You're in the middle of an epic TTRPG session, the action is high, and then everything grinds to a halt. You're digging through rulebooks, doing mental math. The adventure suddenly feels like a worksheet. Well, that feeling, that's cognitive fatigue, and it's a drag. This system, MDM, is all about getting rid of that and keeping you in the story.
So this really gets to the heart of the change. Older games often feel linear, right? You decide on an action, you ask the DM for permission, you wait, you roll. MDM wants to flip that script by turning your passive stats, just numbers on a page, into active tools. The whole goal is to boost your agency as a player and seriously cut down on that mental drain.
Okay, so how does it actually do that? Well, it all starts with something we all know and love, the 6 classic ability scores. Strength, Dex, Con, Intelligence, Wisdom, Charisma. But here's the twist. In this system, they're not just dice modifiers anymore. They're about to get a much more active role in the game.
The first step is to make these stats feel, well, more human. So each ability score gets mapped to both a sense and an emotion. Strength is linked to touch and the feeling of anger. Intelligence gets paired with sight and joy. Now, this isn't just flavor text. It's designed to give players and DMs these instant, intuitive prompts for role-playing, so you're acting on instinct instead of checking a rule. And that quote really nails the philosophy here. A high wisdom score isn't just a +3 to a roll. Now, it might mean your character can literally smell the sadness of old mysteries in a dusty tomb. The mechanics are feeding you story hooks directly. But this is just the first layer of the cake. The system builds on this foundation with a very specific number, 24. And this number is the key to the first mechanical layer of what MDM calls the player decision tree. So what are those 24? They're brand new sub-abilities. Each one of the 6 core stats, strength, dex, and so on, branches out into 4 unique and functional sub-abilities. This means that right from character creation, your stats are giving you a way more detailed and versatile set of tools to play with. Let's make this real with an example. Take a look at dexterity. Instead of just a single modifier, your dex score now gives you 4 specific percentile chances for actions: detecting noise, opening locks, disarming traps, and using tools. So if your character has a dex of 16, you're not just vaguely agile. You know, right there on your sheet, you have a 40% chance to pick that lock. No guesswork needed. But we're not done building this decision tree. On top of those 4 sub-abilities, there's a second layer. Each of the 6 core ability scores also serves as an anchor for 4 dedicated skill proficiencies. So we're creating an even richer set of options for you. For instance, intelligence is the foundation for skills like arcana, history, investigation, and nature. You see the pattern here, right? It's this really clean, parallel structure. 4 sub-abilities and 4 skill proficiencies, all branching from a single core stat. The result is a highly organized character sheet. So what does all this look like when you're actually playing? Let's take a classic RPG problem. You're faced with a magically sealed door. In another system, you might just turn to the DM and ask, can I roll something? But here, you have real options baked right in. Okay, so your first instinct might be to use a direct tool from your sheet. You glance down at your dexterity sub-abilities, and you decide to try your open locks percentage. It's a straightforward, mechanical attempt based on a skill you already have calculated. Simple. But here's where the player agency really shines. The system actively encourages you to combine any 2 data points on your character sheet. So you might look at that magical lock and say to the DM, you know what, I want to combine my dexterity with my arcana skill to try and feel out the magical tumblers. You are literally building your own solution on the fly. This whole web of interconnected stats, sub-abilities, and skills, that's what the game calls the player decision tree. And by giving you the freedom to mix and match these elements, the game is handing you what it calls directorial agency. It means you get to architect your own solutions instead of just asking for permission to roll a die. And now for the big payoff. This incredibly organized, tree-like data structure, it wasn't just designed to make things easier for us humans. In the process of making the game more intuitive for people, the designers accidentally created the perfect language for an AI to understand and process.
I mean, how brilliant is this? The design serves two masters at once. For you, the player, this structure means more intuitive choices and less time memorizing rules. For an AI, that exact same structure provides a crystal clear data map, what engineers call a state machine. Just think of a state machine as a simple, logical flowchart. It has very clear states and very clear rules for moving between them. That's why this works for both of us. The clean, predictable structure reduces our mental fatigue and allows a machine to process the rules with incredible efficiency.
And this quote just sums it all up perfectly. The MDM core is designed from the ground up to be both things at the same time, a state machine and a story machine. It's a logical engine that an AI can use to run the rules, and it's a creative toolkit that empowers us to tell better, more immersive stories. And that really leaves us with a huge, fascinating question. If you structure a game's rules like a language that both people and machines can speak fluently, what new kinds of collaborative stories could we tell together? It's a pretty profound thought for the future of gaming.